Hi, this is my first experience using a webcam for a presentation, so please bear with me and try to overlook the poor quality of the video. But it's really important to me that I not use a cameraman for this one. Um, when I started this class, I wasn't really sure what to expect to learn. I've been working in a professional setting for almost 17 years now, starting out in insurance, moving on to customer service, then moving on to banking, and most recently, I'm a small business owner. I thought that I knew most of what there was to know about professional communications, and I was wrong. As a result of this class, I have learned new theories of communication, new technological skills, the importance of service learning, and I've tried to apply this knowledge to both my personal and professional life. I believe that I'm a better communicator as a result, and I'm very grateful that it is a requirement for my degree program. I want to touch on the academic aspects. First, I want to talk about concepts and theories that I've learned, and then I want to move on to the presentations that we were required to do and what my successes and failures were. And then I want to move on to the service learning aspect of the class, and then finally talk about some self-reflection. So first, academically, the theories and concepts that I've learned, I've got 5 that I want to talk about. First is the CCCD model. I did not know that this existed before the class. I had never really thought of communication in these terms. But when I think back to times that I've had communication failures, I can remember that I've left out a step. I might choose my message, I might create my message and then deliver my message, but I failed to coordinate that message. And so this leads to disastrous results, miscommunication, and misunderstandings. So I'm finding that now in my professional life that I try to make sure that I am using that model and that I am choosing, creating, coordinating, and delivering that message, whether it's a 2-minute speech that I have to give or a half-hour employee meeting that I have to coordinate. Secondly, I learned that communication is a process and that it's not a single event. This was probably the eye-opener for me in this class. I used to think I was a very good communicator, and I realized that I was treating communication just like a single moment in time and not a series of transactions where both people are important to the message. And so what I do now is I try very hard to remember that communication is a process that happens over time and that it's not something that I can say what I want to say and then the message is done. Third, I learned about power. As a manager and as a business owner, I'm sometimes not fully aware of the power that I hold. I've tried to incorporate a democratic model of influence in my workplace. The most important thing to me in this democratic model is the distribution of information. I realized that I probably did not always in the past give everyone the information that they needed to make good decisions. And so now what I try to do is make sure that everyone is fully aware of everything that they need to know and that they have an ownership stake in the success of that business. Fourth, I learned about listening. I've tried to progress from just hearing the message to actually becoming a conscious listener. Realizing that there's different types of listening have made me consciously think about what type is required for the situation that I'm in. And I've tried to move from just nodding and hearing what the person's saying to actually listening and consciously listening to what they're saying. And I think this also has made me a better communicator. Fifth and finally, I've learned about creating business presentations. I have learned the importance of outlining that presentation. Most importantly to me has been that introduction and learning to include my purpose, my credibility, the reasons for listening to me, my main point, and then previewing what I'm going to be speaking about. The result has been that employee meetings are actually shorter now, and I think we get a whole lot more accomplished. In talking about the public presentations that we were required to give in this class, I had my fair share of successes and failures. Aspects that I think went well for me is that I was very well prepared. I did a lot of research before each speech, and I tried to learn what the audience's needs were. I also tried to get the audience to participate. I think this made for a more interesting experience, and when they felt that they were part of the presentation, I think that they got more out of it. My failures, or places that I think I could have improved upon, were that I did not coordinate well with my host, particularly in my first speech. I was speaking to Girl Scouts, and I didn't know that I only had one plug. I had to have that plug for my camera, and so I could not plug in my computer and show the PowerPoint presentation that I had prepared, which was just a series of pictures. Instead, I had to show printed pictures that I held up, and I don't think it worked as well. Also, I was very nervous. I do not like public speaking, and I think my nervousness showed in both speeches. And I need to learn a way, other than drinking a glass of wine before the speech, of handling that nervousness. For the service learning aspect of this class, I will admit that I was terrified when I learned that this project was required. As a result, I have actually developed a relationship with the director of Haven House Emergency Shelter, who was my organization that hosted me. I developed great relationships with my class partners that helped me with this, particularly Vivian, who was kind of my study buddy. And I also learned and became very passionate about homelessness and what we can do to help people that are in that situation. My challenges with the service learning project were, as I spoke about earlier, coordinating with the director, who was very, very busy. He finally gave me his cell phone number, which helped me get in touch with him better. And then also, there were very few attendees at my second speech, and it wasn't necessarily the director's fault, but he was sick that day and he forgot to let the supervisor know that I was coming that night, and so I only had 3 attendees. However, sometimes I think that things happen for a reason, and one of the attendees was a young woman who had a 2-year-old son, who you can see in the video is very vocal during the speech, which led to my nervousness, or helped make me more nervous. She actually is now working with my husband, who is a financial aid coordinator at Butler Tech. It's a career and technical school. And she has worked with him and is going to be starting school in a nursing program there. So even though I had very few attendees, I feel like I still had a lot of success, because even if I touched one person, that one person has had a difference made in her life. So it was all worthwhile. I plan on continuing my work with Haven House. They have me in their Rolodex now, and they have me listed as a resume job search professional, and they know that they can call me anytime someone wants one-on-one help with anything that they need to have help with in their job search. I feel that service learning is crucial to the development of a college student. I think it should be a requirement before you graduate, and I did not used to feel that way, but I do now, after experiencing all of the positives that I have with Haven House. I feel like it's made me a better citizen, a better employer, a better employee, a better friend, a better wife, and a better mom as a result of doing this project. It has also brought to my attention a very serious problem, and that's homelessness, that needs to be addressed. I feel very fortunate that I have the opportunity to go to Indiana University East and get my degree. It is very costly, it takes a lot of my time, and it takes a lot of dedication, but I'm still more fortunate than those who I provided service to, and I feel very lucky that I had that opportunity. So how has this course experience shaped who I am today? I feel that I've been able to take the theories, ideas, and concepts from the text and lectures and use them in my professional and personal life. I'm a better listener, a better manager, and I recognize the power that I have to use to help empower employees. I think I've been able to manage my fear of public speaking. I will never feel completely at ease, but I think that's a good thing. The nervousness I feel before giving a speech makes me concentrate on my message, and now I'm able to convert that nervous energy into positive energy and enthusiasm when I speak. The end of a class to me is always bittersweet, but I do want to say that taking this class has given me the tools to become a better professional and also interpersonal communicator. I've learned skills such as blogging and creating portfolios that I didn't know before, and I feel that I can use these throughout my academic and professional career. I'm grateful for the interaction and friendships that I've made with fellow students and also for the advice and teaching from Dr. Ribas. Thank you.